Hello, happy probably Tuesday to you, and it's a Monday for me. I'm going to start a new video for the week, and today it's going to be a kind of what I eat in a week video. It's not going to be a full comprehensive what I eat in a week because my meals are so random, so it's going to be more dinner ideas and things I cook in a week. I cook a full homemade meal about 5 times a week. I take off Thursdays and I take off Saturdays. So I'm just gonna show you everything I cook this week. It should be fun. Today I did not go to the grocery store like I was supposed to, so we are going to do a very simple sheet pan meal. I'll show you that when I'm doing it in a couple hours. All right, it's about 8:20. We eat very late in the summer because Noah works very late, and I like to have a freshly cooked meal ready for him versus eating something earlier and then reheating it for him. So here we have our ingredients: just a nice russet potato, a bell pepper. I'll probably only use half of this onion, but it's just a white onion. And then a clove of garlic. This clove of garlic I feel like is big, so it's probably equivalent to more like 2 cloves of garlic. I feel like there's never too much, so measure with your heart with that one. For seasonings, we have salt, pepper, red pepper flakes. I usually do basil with it, but I don't have any right now, so we're Xing that out. But then we also do have our onion and our garlic, so it is going to be pretty flavorful. If you want a little bit more, you could always do lemon pepper, or I've done chili powder in the past. I have so many memories of my mom making this meal and giving it to me on a paper plate as we rushed out the door for me to go cheer at basketball games in high school. So this one is definitely a comfort meal for me, and it's so easy to make. I will say kind of an important note is to keep your potato slices pretty small so they roast at about the same amount of time as all the other vegetables. Unless you're gonna boil them before, then a little bit bigger will probably be fine. I've just found that if you chop them smaller, they all kind of cook together in harmony. Okay, now that everything is cut up, I cut up 3 of those Johnsonville sausages and just kind of threw everything haphazardly on here. My oven is preheating to 425 degrees. I'm gonna drizzle some olive oil on top. I'm running low on this and I'm trying to make it last for another 2 weeks. Don't think it's gonna happen. And then just put whatever your desired seasonings are on top of that. And then we'll just mix it all together. I do it with my hands. If you don't want to do it with your hands, use a spoon or something. It's pretty easy. So I added some parsley, and by added some parsley, I mean I accidentally dropped half a bottle of parsley on the meal and spent the last 15 minutes trying to pick it off. But I think it should be good. Anyway, just popped it in the oven. It'll be in there for about 25 minutes until the potatoes are fork tender, and then we'll be ready to go. Hello, it's now Tuesday. I am wearing the same shirt, so we're gonna ignore that, but I'm headed to the grocery store to actually stock up on the stuff I need for meals this week. Here's what I got in the produce section of the grocery store. This is not everything I have right now. This is just a little restock. So Brussels sprouts, this is for our meal tomorrow. Romaine lettuce, this is for Noah's sandwiches when I make his lunch every day. And then bell pepper, this is for tonight. This is just a white onion. This is for today and tomorrow's dinner. And then it's always good to have garlic on hand. In the fridge, I already have some asparagus that's probably about to go bad. And then a cucumber, carrots, and green onion, and some spinach. For meat, this is what I restocked on today, just some chicken breasts. This is for Wednesday's meal, so tomorrow's meal and Friday's meal. And then raw and peeled tail off shrimp. This stuff is way more expensive than it should be, but it's my husband's favorite. We're having it tonight for dinner. And then turkey pepperoni, these go on Noah's sandwiches. And then in the fridge, we have that sausage that we had yesterday. We're gonna have it again today. Everything else I bought, you'll probably see in my meals throughout the week. So no reason to go hash that out. I'm going to start cooking in a little bit, so I thought I would introduce you to the dish. I don't think I can quite call it jambalaya because all of the ingredients aren't cooked together and the rice is not cooked with a broth. But I will say it's jambalaya inspired, Cajun inspired, and it is so good. It's going to be a rice, shrimp, sausage, bell pepper, jalapeno dish all together. So good. I'll show you all my ingredients when I am getting them all prepped. All right, ingredients for tonight are actually very similar to last night. We've got the same sausages, a bell pepper, onion, garlic. Those were all used yesterday, but we're gonna switch it up and have shrimp and rice and jalapenos as well. And for our seasonings, this is Cajun cooking, so you've got to go crazy on the seasonings. We've got, of course, Cajun and salt. I like to do lemon pepper as well as just your regular black pepper, red pepper flakes, and chili powder. I also like to put lemon juice with my shrimp, but I don't have it today, so we're skipping that. I can't be the only one that thinks that watching videos of people dicing vegetables is so satisfying, but only when it's sped up. So here is that for you. You'll notice that for this recipe versus the last recipe, we are doing more of a fine dice instead of a chop. So we want the pieces to be quite a bit smaller than last night. And we are cutting up the bell pepper, we're cutting up the onion, jalapenos, and then we're going to mince that garlic once again. The vegetables are chopped, and now I need to thaw the rest of my shrimp because I bought them today. They're still pretty frozen, so I'm just gonna run it under some cool water. I like to season my butter and then I just put the shrimp right in there. This is salted butter with Cajun, chili powder, lemon pepper. Oh, and I'm gonna add chili flakes, and this is usually where I add my lemon juice as well. Also, your garlic and your chopped jalapenos go in with your shrimp. Not all of the garlic, just about half of it. Rice is cooking in there, and then we have onions and garlic, just sweating it out over here. I'm gonna let them get a little bit softened, and then I will add the bell pepper and sausage. Cooked my sausages. They're already pre-cooked, so I just like to have a little brown on them, and then added them to my rice. And then I also added all of the seasonings to the rice. And now we are cooking the shrimp, butter, jalapeno, garlic mixture. And once that's done, it also goes in with the rice and sausage. And there we have it. Yes, sir. For night number 3, we are making Indian chicken bowls. I don't call them tikka masala bowls or red curry bowls or butter chicken bowls because I switch it up all the time. Whatever sauce I can find in the store or whatever I'm feeling like that night is what we make. Tonight I am making butter chicken with roasted Brussels sprouts. So here I am chopping up all of the Brussels sprouts. I'm going to cut off that end there because it's not very pleasant to eat. It's pretty hard. And then you're gonna split it in half, and these are gonna lie face open on a baking sheet seasoned with olive oil and all your other seasonings. We're also dicing up that onion again, and this is going to cook with your chicken, which I also chop up into little squares. I didn't show that, but you'll see it when it's in the pan. And then we're also mincing that garlic again, and I figured you've seen that enough in this video, so I'm not gonna show that to you again. The seasonings that I used for this were salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, and chili powder. And then obviously you're gonna put that olive oil so it roasts okay. We're putting the oven at 425, and then you're going to roast this until the edges are pretty brown. You want the whole thing to be soft. So I'm not gonna give you a specific time because I don't measure time. I just look for when it all looks pretty cooked. So I have my chicken seasoned with the same seasonings as the Brussels sprouts. In with my garlic and onions. I've got my rice cooking. And then down here we've got our Brussels sprouts going. The chicken has a little bit of color to it. I added my Indian sauce. This one's a butter chicken. It's like a Kroger brand butter chicken sauce. Bring that up to simmer, and then now that it's bubbling, I'm going to turn the heat down to, actually I'm gonna go down to a 2. Add the lid and let that sit. Seasoned the rice with everything that I seasoned the Brussels sprouts with, but I added cumin and cinnamon. And then I just wanted to say I cannot recommend this sauce. Usually it's a little bit thicker. I like the one from Target. She is all mixed together. So good. Oh my gosh, I lost light so fast. I'm like stepping outside so I can get a little bit of light because my apartment is so dark. We got Wingstop last night, and then today it's Friday. So I'm a little bit burnt out of cooking. This is always how it gets by the end of the week. But I have stuff in the fridge that I need to use up, and we went out last night, so I'm going to. I didn't really have like a set plan for today when I went grocery shopping, but I do have a packet of ramen. I have a chicken breast. I have some eggs. I'm thinking of making like a dressed up ramen. My eggs are pretty old, so I need to check if they're good. And I don't know if this hack is just, you know, common sense, but this is how you check if your egg is still okay to eat. I'm in water. I put it in my pot because I didn't want to get another dish dirty. And if they sink and lie on their side, they are fresh. If they sink and stand up, mine are standing up, it means they're kind of old but still good to eat. And if they float, throw them out, don't eat them. I am going to hard boil one of these eggs. I know ramen, it's gonna be soft boiled, but I don't really like soft boiled eggs, so I'm gonna hard boil it. And then I'm going to cook some chicken, chop up some green onion. I think I have some seaweed left. Make a nice ramen dish. Also, I promise those little marks on my stovetop are just salt, and I will clean that up before I actually start cooking. So I don't know the technical term for this, but I like butterflied my chicken breast. This one's tiny, so it's not as much chicken as I was expecting to use, but luckily we have that egg, so hopefully that makes up for the lack of chicken. Yeah, but basically I cut it in half so it could lay open, obviously not all the way through, just so it could be flat and thinner so it cooks more evenly. I'm gonna add that to the pan. Also, I just did the most random assortment of spices because I'm out of what I would usually use and we're moving in a week, so I'm not gonna go repurchase them. And then, like I said, I'm just using your regular ramen packet, your like 30-cent ramen packet. And I guess this is just a fun way to like make it an actual meal versus just noodles and broth. I just cracked open that hard-boiled egg, and a yellowy fluid leaked out all over me, not like a yolk, like nasty. So maybe my trick is not foolproof. So don't quote me on that one. If we're hungry, we'll go to McDonald's. But there's the ramen, here's the chicken, and then we've got green onions over here. I'm gonna chop up some seaweed. I'm also gonna cut that chicken into strips. Then we'll plate it and it'll be beautiful. All right, there's our beautiful little ramen bowl. I wish there was more broth, but had to save some for Noah, and I feel like it made less broth than usual, but it's gonna taste great. Today is Saturday, which means we go out to dinner, and we are going to Corky's, which we have found to be our favorite barbecue place here in Memphis.